A warm welcome, the Italian Dev here. In today's video I will show you how to add a dark mode theme in your Next.js Tailwind CSS web application and also a button to toggle between the light theme and the dark theme manually. So, if you like this type of content, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button and comment in the comment section down below. It will help me a lot creating new and better content for all of you. Enough said, let's go straight into the code. To create a new Next.js Tailwind CSS project, let's start by opening the terminal and type the command npx create next app example flag with -tailwind CSS and the name of the project. I'm going to call mine next-toggle theme. Perfect. So this command will create a brand new Next.js project with Tailwind CSS already configured for us. All the dependencies are now installed, so let me clear the terminal to make more space. Let's navigate inside the newly created folder. Perfect, and I'm going to open it in Visual Studio Code. Perfect. Now, the first thing, as you can see, we already have Tailwind configured with the tailwind.config file, the postcss.config file too, and if we open the style inside the global.css, we have the default Tailwind directive. So, first of all, what I'm going to do is to open the index.tsx file, our home page, and clean up most of the boilerplate code we have. In this way, then only this div is remaining. Let's consider it our main div, our main container. So I'm going to allow this div tag to take all the available space in width and height. So typing width screen height screen. And then I'm going to center all the children that will be, the children tag that will be inside this container. And we can easily do it by exploiting the flex Tailwind utility classes. So flex call, so we will give a flex column direction, then justify center and item center. Perfect. Now inside let's just try adding an h1 tag, hello world for now, and give it a class name of text for Excel to make it bigger. Perfect. So let's open the integrated terminal and type npm run dev. So to check if everything is working fine, I didn't do any mistakes. So localhost port 3000. Perfect. So we have our main container, the div that is taking all the available space of the screen, and we have our h1 tag centered inside the main container. So now, let's start thinking on how to integrate the dark mode first, and then we will add the button. So first of all, let's open the tailwind.config.js. So in this way, we will tell to Tailwind, hey, listen, I want the dark mode inside this project. So to do this, we have a key dark mode column, and then we need to pass a value. So by default, Tailwind CSS uses the media property CSS. So it means that our project is going to listen and take what the operating system configuration are about the light mode or dark mode and use it. But now we want to add the button, so we want to toggle between dark mode and light mode manually without doing it automatically in base of the operating system configuration. So we need to tell Tailwind use the class strategy. Perfect. So in this way we can manually toggle between dark mode and light mode. Cool. Now we are going to install in a new terminal window a package that will help us integrating the class strategy that Tailwind CSS provides to us. So npm install next themes. This package with just few lines will help us handle and switch between the two different themes. So let's open underscore app.tsx. We all know that this component, so this component here, my app, wraps the entire application. Okay, so let's begin by importing theme provider from next themes. Perfect. And let's wrap the Next.js component inside the theme provider. Okay, let's move this one up. Perfect. As we did for Tailwind, so as we saw just a few minutes ago, we told Tailwind, hey, listen, I want to use the class component. In the same way, we need to tell the theme provider that we are going to use the class component. How to do this? Just passing the props attribute and setting it equal to class. Perfect. So in this way, next themes will inject in the HTML tag the value dark if we choose the dark mode or light if we choose the light mode. Let's move this up. Perfect. So now we can start creating our button. So let's move inside the index.tsx file, and first of all let's bring inside this component theme and set themes using the use theme hook provided by use next themes. Is set theme without the s. So let's add a button, and the text we want is toggle to, and now we can dynamically pass the value we want. So we can say if the theme, so the current theme, the current value is equal to light, we want to display the text dark, otherwise display the text light. Cool. So now we have the text dynamically set up, and we can check now. Okay, it's saying toggle to dark because, as you can see, we are in light mode. So let's style a bit this button just so we can see when we are toggling between the different themes. And so class name equal, let's give this button a horizontal padding of 6, a vertical padding of 2, Then let's give it in the light mode a background of black, and in the dark mode just typing dark column bg white. And in the same time let's give a text white in light mode, and in dark mode let's give a text black. So let's see if it's correctly displaying with a black background and the white text as we defined with the Tailwind CSS utility classes. So let's give also a little bit of margin top just to make everything clear. So now we need to give this button the functionality to switch between the two different themes. And it's very easy. So on the onClick attribute, we pass an anonymous callback function and say set theme. And here again, it's like we did for the dynamic part of the text. So let's say if the theme is light, okay, I want to toggle to set the new theme dark, otherwise light again. Let's see if I click toggle to dark. Cool, look, now we have, again, the text is automatically changing in white, but for the button we have the white background and the black color of the text. Let's also removing this hello world because we don't need it, and instead pass theme. Also we can say current theme mode and pass the theme value. Look, current theme mode dark, toggle to light, current theme mode light. Amazing. But now I want to show a little bit of problem we have, because what we wrote here, so using this theme value here and this theme value here, it's a bit of, let's call it unsafe code. Let me show you. Open the developer tools, under the console, okay, let me clear, and refresh the page. Look, we have warning expected server HTML to contain a matching text node for light in the tag h1. But let me show you clearly. If let's remove this text here so everything will be more clear. Let me refresh. Look, warning, text content did not match. On the server we have an empty string. On the client we have light. But what does it mean? This is what is called hydration mismatch, because the light value we are taking from the useTheme hook here is not available on the server. So the server says, listen, I don't know what this theme value is, because now we are serving this page, Next.js could serve the page all in both in SSG, so static site generation, and also in server-side rendering, SSR. So, but the problem is now that on the server we don't know this problem, so this is the perfect example of hydration mismatch. So, how to solve this problem? As we said, this value is only known on the client, so when the component mount in the client, we will have this value. So, mounted on the client will suddenly make our brain thinking to just one thing, use effect. So use effect out. What we can do? Look, we can import use state and use effect from React. Okay, we can define now a new piece of state, const. Let's call it mounted and set mounted. Perfect. Use state, and I'm gonna pass the default value of false. So at the beginning it's not mounted. So before returning the entire component, and so passing also the team value, that we know now that we only know this value on the client, because on the server it is not known. The server doesn't know what theme I'm using, I want to use. It's only known the client. What we can do is so use effect, and in the use effect we set the value mounted with the set mounted function true. We don't have any dependency on this use effect because we want use effect run every time the page refresh. So we know that when the use effect happens, so when the component is mounted, we set the mounted value to true. So now we can check if not mounted, just return null. Else, so if it's mounted now, return the value. But at this time, when the component is mounted, we know this value, and there is no more an hydration mismatch. Let's see. So clear the terminal, refresh, and look, we don't have any warning. The warning disappeared because now we know how to handle the hydration mismatch. And look if everything still works fine. Amazing. And what the next themes is doing, if we inspect this, so look here at the HTML class light, look if I toggle this, class dark, and it's doing this thanks to the attribute class we passed here that works in combo with the class strategy we defined in the Tailwind CSS dark mode property. Let's see again. Amazing. Cool, you know now how to handle a toggle button that will let you manually, and your user, your readers, manually toggle the dark mode between the dark mode and the light mode on your Next.js Tailwind CSS web application. Or if you want to build a new project with these features, now you know how to do it. I hope you enjoyed watching this content. If you liked it, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and see you, the Italian Dev.